lot of NGOs use the .org domain, and I think that there's sometimes some confusion. Having a .ngo may help define exactly what an NGO is online.
I think there's a need really to distinguish between people that work in development, human rights, disaster relief, that kind of work from the .org universe.
NGOs are by their nature very diffused. Finding ones that are good, finding ones that you can believe in and you can trust and give money to and things like that, very, very difficult. And the idea of having an online destination which could be a community gathering point for NGOs, very strong idea in my opinion.
We need a platform that we can own. We are certain it will be open forever. I see that happening with .ngo, so I think it's the way to go.
It's a good opportunity to certify those communities and show them to the world and to be trusted.
Every day new organizations are starting up, so I think it's important to make our mission credible, to make our organization credible, to make our impact credible.
I would trust it 100% rather doing it through a .ngo rather than through a .com, for example.
Believability. Trust is the single most important currency in this field. The kind of people who would run a .ngo needs to be like PIR. It needs to be somebody with a long track record in the field who has the faith and the trust of the NGO community themselves. The idea that someone would start from scratch on a project this big makes no sense.
For me, one day means that a time will come when everyone will get excellent education, everyone helping each other, learning new things.
I'm not inferior, I'm not just rich and I'm not poor. I'm equal to everyone. I can share my opinions, I can go to school, I can have an excellent education.
I think one day for India just looks like a country at its fullest potential.
It's a place where people are operating as a community, working together to develop and move from leap to leap. It's a powerful picture, but it's a mammoth task.
I don't think most of our children today in India have the opportunities that they need to get anywhere close to their fullest potential. And my belief is that until they get those opportunities, collectively, we can't possibly get our country to her greatest potential.
Right now, many of them are not getting an excellent education, but if we explore more, one day we'll see our country, not just our country, our world, at the highest of everything, I can say.
If you think of the problem as a really complex jigsaw puzzle.
We call it the puzzle of educational inequity. It has many pieces to it.
How are we valuing and celebrating teachers? What does our curriculum look like? What's happening with infrastructure in schools? And each piece is an area that we need to bring about change in towards that vision. I think you walk into the fellowship and your whole life changes.
As I walked into this community, I got a better picture of how a life of a child is. The choices are very minimal. Education is a very serious concern.
I think getting to know the lives of our children and their families changes your understanding of the world and changes your understanding of yourself.
This is my country, this is majority of my country which is living in these shackles, and then I think that motivates and challenges you to surely do something which is beyond your own self.
Going into the classroom, I was a person who had limits defined, but I actually saw them show me that anything is really possible.
So which shows that he is also courageous. I was a person who believed strongly on the Darwin's theory of like survival of the fittest, right? But now I believe in seva and I believe in selfless service, right? I believe in love, I believe in equity.
Alright, so we are going to reflect on our dreams. My kids actually taught me to practice, what you preach and break those barriers which were stopping me from doing things that I considered right.
I think my classroom is just my happiest place at the moment, where I can completely be myself and try to be my best, but still show my flaws and be forgiven.
You find something you care about and you're passionate about, And there are a lot of different things you see in yourself which you can't really explain, but it's there.
Oh, yeah, we are done.
So they come in and they're exposed to a completely different vision of education, one that isn't just about marks, but is about values, is about concepts, is about like how to live and survive and thrive in a changing world.
How much can they think critically? What can they do on their own? How brave are they in front of other people?
An excellent education has to integrate values, mindsets, exposure and access, and academic achievement. And it has to be bigger than you and bigger than the child. It has to be about life, and it has to last beyond your relationship with that particular child.
This movement can only succeed if at the forefront are our students.
Even though I'm a small child, we have a power, we have a strength inside us.
If you give children the opportunities to find their light, then that light has to shine and spread. And as it does, it just keeps building.
If a child gets an excellent education, he can go in his community, he can tell others, start from his community, then it will go to the city, then it can go to the country. If every single child gets that opportunity,
we can actually bring something amazing into this world.
We need to build an army of people that can go out there and demonstrate that they are leaders willing to change things for children. But in addition to demonstrating it themselves, for them to catalyze and inspire many, many more.
Just imagine how the movement will spread if the communities will get empowered.
जैसे जैसे स्टूडेंट की मेरिट में बदलाव आ गया ना, तभी हमारी सोच बढ़ गई। अरे ऐसा हो सकता है, फिर बच्चों को आगे जाने के लिए ऐसा हम कर सकते हैं। ये जब प्रोसेस में आए हम, तभी हमको मालूम पड़ा।
सपना तो बहुत बड़ा है। मैं नहीं जो बन पाई मैं अपने बच्चे के लिए, और जो पैसे मिलते हैं उसमें भी थोड़े से बचा के रखती हूँ। मैं सोचती मेरा सपना टूट गया, लेकिन मैं अपने बच्चे का सपना नहीं तोड़ूंगी।
Fellows go through an intense 2-year experience where they've all gone through this shared journey of working very intensely with a group of children in a very difficult context. And once you've internalized that journey, you graduate as an alumni.
Our vision for alumni is that they do very, very different things, but wherever they are, they have that singularity of vision, that we are working for an India where every child attains their greatest potential.
As a fellow, I think I just fell in love with teaching. I just believe that change in the education system comes from teachers. My role is to teach well, my role is to be here, and for other people to see, you know what, this can work. This is something I want to do.
So what I do right now, it's mostly because of the experience that I had in my fellowship. We want to engage ourselves in answering how can I maximize potential of every single child and give them excellent education.
I see my piece in the puzzle as making policy work for the people that is intended for. In the long term, I see myself building communities which actually improve policy implementation at the grassroots level.
I want to rally the key stakeholders in education into arriving at a common agenda, into arriving at a common vision of what excellent education looks like for Pune.
What does the team, what does the community, what do the parents, what do our students really want this school to be? It's authentically building a vision for school from within.
And so at every level now, we have alumni who have gone on to do things that are changing the conversations, that are shifting the beliefs of what people think is possible.
We need people making policy, we need people on the ground in classrooms, we need people in technology and education. Wherever they are, we're going to do that by working together.
When people from different sectors come together and form this common vision about what's right for our children, I think that's when movements are built. I think that's when we're going to achieve that reality for India.
I just want to see millions of people around the country working together for this vision. It's just a question of people understanding the role that they can play and taking that first step.
To build a vision, we all need to work together, and then the vision will be completely finished very early. One day everyone will get an excellent education. education. So it is talking about everyone. That means each child will get an excellent education, not only one person. So that's why we all should work together and think about the vision.
If there's one thing that defines our work culture at Teach for India, I'd say grit. It becomes part of our DNA, not just at work but also as a person. The work that we do is just filled with a lot of challenges. Our students are 6 years behind their grade levels. They live in a lot of complexities of poverty. They don't even know what their potential is or how they want to get there. Right? The decisions we make on a daily basis affect people's lives.
I did my fellowship in 2012 and I think that was tough and I grew a lot. And at the end of 2 years, I just felt like, you know, I'm in a good place. I've made impact. I was actually very happy with where I was as a fellow with my classroom and my kids. And then I joined the PM role and I realized that, sure, I've done a good job with my kids, but there was so much more to be done. You know, you have classrooms that need mentors, you have fellows that need teachers, and that's what the role is about for me. I feel like just being able to be that teacher for a fellow impacts that much more, and you're able to create little examples of greatness wherever you go.
The work we do cannot be summarized in a standard framework because the problem is deep, it takes time to solve it, and people are going to come up with different solutions as we progress. So what makes Teach for India a great place to work is the fact that combined with intellectual rigor, there's a need for trusting people's intuitions, the power of the collective wisdom, the dialogue, and out of that emerges a solution that gives people an opportunity to create a shared vision.
Working to solve the education crisis is a big challenge that we've taken on at Teach for India. The only way we can really do this is by working with each other, by committing to working on ourselves. And this involves sometimes changing our beliefs, changing our values, changing the systems and processes that guide the way we work.
At Teach for India, we're trying to build a movement, and so the power of the collective is something we really believe in. We have a range of backgrounds, you know, people who've done very different things at Teach for India, and we welcome all these perspectives because we believe it's this diversity that actually leads to, you know, the solution of some of our toughest challenges. It's through a process of dialogue where the solutions actually emerge.
At the same time, I feel like we always have the autonomy and flexibility to do whatever it is that we think is right. Every project that I take on, I just feel an incredible amount of responsibility to do the best that I can. I feel like the onus is on me to get it right all of the time.
I don't know if there are too many organizations today where every single individual is so committed to furthering the mission.
So when I think about my work, love, empathy and belief in people is at the center of everything that we do.
We have a high reverence for excellence and we respect each and every individual who contributes to the mission. Whether it's staff members, fellows or alumni, donors or partners, parents or students or headmasters or school teachers, we believe each one of them has an important role to play in the mission.
I feel like I learned so much about myself while being a teacher, and I get to be part of that journey for 23 other teachers and at the same time help them create an impact for the kids that they teach. I still feel like a teacher because now I'm not teaching kids, I'm teaching teachers, but I feel like I moved from just impacting those 54 kids to like 620 kids that we serve in my learning circle.
I think it's just amazing to see how a fellow can discover excellence within him or herself, and to me that's what makes me wake up every single morning, to be able to see how a person discovers their potential and to be able to do anything and everything I can for that teacher to do that.
Everyone at Teach for India feels this sense of urgency. So we've directly already impacted 40,000 children, but there are still 320 million children in this country. So it's a massive sense of responsibility. But the best part about working here is that no matter what your role, whether it's communications, HR, finance, whatever it is, you actually see the direct impact that you are making as an individual. That feeling of being a part of something larger than yourself, being a part of something so purposeful and meaningful that pushes you to do your very best every single day beyond what you could even imagine is what's unique about being here. Log on to www.teachforindia.org.